Now it's time to go through the solo for B.B. King's 3 O'Clock Blues. He uses a lot of the same ideas in different ways with different licks or different inflections and different variations. Basically all within the first position blues box in the key of B flat. So let's start out the solo. The first lick is one we've heard before. So we've done this before, one more time. Now for the second lick in the solo. So he starts out, which is really cool. And what he's doing, the song's in the key of B flat, so the 4 chord is going to be an E flat, which you can play up here at the 11th fret. And part of that, that's where that lick comes from. It's basically an E flat lick. And what I'm doing is sliding here with my second finger from the 11th fret to the 12th fret of the 3rd string, and then getting the 11th fret of the 2nd string. Then he does this chromatic run. 13, 12, 11 on the 1st string. And then again on the 11. And he's going from the 11th fret to the 10th fret of the 1st string. And then to the 11th fret of the 2nd string. Twice. And that's where he picks that several times and you get the vibrato there. So that whole lick which is really cool. Let's play the whole solo so far. Something very close to that. And then the next line, he does this. So we're walking into it from the 6th to the 7th, that little lick which we've done a bunch of times already on the 3rd string, 6th fret of the 2nd string to the 8th fret. And then he's going to slide from the 8th to the 11th, whoops, on the 2nd string, so the whole thing. And then he's coming back to the 6th fret of the 2nd string, 8, 6 on the 3rd string, to the 8th fret on the 4th string. So the whole solo so far. And then he does this lick on the 6th fret, 2nd and 1st strings, back and forth 3 times from the 2nd string to the 1st string on the 6th fret. Then he goes to the 9th fret of the 1st string with a bend. And he's going to go 9, 6th fret on the 1st string, 9th fret on the 2nd string, 6th fret, 8th fret. Play that fast. Now, after he does this lick, he's going to slide into the 9th fret of the 2nd string, 8th fret of the 2nd string, and go from the 8th fret of the 2nd string to the 6th fret, and then the same thing on the 3rd string, 8 to 6. Then he's going to go back and forth between the 6th fret of the 3rd string and the 8th fret of the 4th string. So the whole lick. Then he's going to bend on the 3rd string. Check the tab for that lick. And then he's going to go into 3 bends. Something like that. And then from there, he's going to do this. This is a cool lick where he's starting on the 9th fret of the 1st string to the 6th fret of the 1st string, and then getting the 6th fret of the 2nd string. And he goes back and forth between the 9th fret of the 2nd string and the 6th fret of the 1st string. And then back to the 6th fret of the 2nd string with another bend. So let's play that whole section. Now he's going to go. So he's going to walk into that lick from the 6th to the 7th fret on the 3rd string. And then very quickly, back and forth between the 9th fret of the 2nd string, 6th fret of the 1st string. And then he's going to go into these bends, where he's got his 1st finger anchored on the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and then he's bending up with the 2nd and 3rd fingers on the 3rd string at the 8th fret. The last time he does it, he's not bending, he's just going from the 8th fret of the 3rd string to the 6th fret of the 2nd string. So the whole lick sounds like this. Then he's going to do this, where he's going to do this lick twice. So 9th fret, 6th fret of the 1st string, 6th fret of the 2nd string. And then follow the tab. Then he wraps up with a bend on the 6th string, or 6th fret of the 3rd string into the F7, where he's actually going to get the bass note, 8th fret of the 5th string, and then into the F7th chord. So let's do that whole last part one time. Wraps up the solo for 3 O'Clock Blues, B.B. King. Sorry, I was having trouble getting that done. Some of those parts are very, very similar to each other, and it's easy to get them mixed up. Now, if you want to learn it note for note, you got to really spend some time with it. But if you just want to pick up some ideas from the solo, there's plenty to work with. And I'll be back with the last verse. Now it's time for the last verse of B.B. King's 3 O'Clock Blues, the fills. First fill that he plays as he sings the verse goes like this. So what I'm doing, same lick again. We've done this a bunch of times, from the 9th fret to the 6th fret on the 1st string, to the 6th fret on the 2nd string, and then 4 slides. Sounds to me anywhere from the 9th to the 10th frets, sliding to the 11th fret of the 2nd string 4 times. So the whole lick. Then going to the 6th fret of the 2nd string, 8-6 on the 3rd string, 8th fret of the 4th string. So that whole lick. And there's the first fill verse of the last verse of 3 O'Clock Blues. The second fill verse on B.B. King's 3 O'Clock Blues is just a simple bend on the G string. Sounds like this, bend and release. Just something like that. And the third fill lick in the last verse goes like this. And he does that again. So he's playing that same lick. Done all those things before. So just check the tab and match it up. Listen to the original recording in case I missed something. One more time. Now for the end tag, the very last part. When he gets to the end of the song, we'll go from the 5 to the 4 to the 1. So what he's doing, 9th fret on the 1st string twice, then the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and then the 6th fret of the 1st string, and then 9 and 8 on the 2nd string, and then here he does something a little odd, goes to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then the 6th fret of the 2nd string. So that whole ending. One more time. And then the closing, he takes a A6 and goes to a B6. A 6th is just like an F-shaped chord for an A, and you take your pinky onto the 7th fret of the 2nd string. And then just slide it into the B flat 6. So that whole end tag, one last time. And that is B.B. King's 3 O'Clock Blues. Again, the tab is meant to help you figure it out. I showed you enough stuff that if you listen to the original song, look at the tab, you should be able to figure it out. I try to be note for note, but sometimes my mind wanders and I forget things and can't read my own tab. So hopefully this will help you. And if you want to learn the song 3 O'Clock Blues, this will do it. Also, if you want to borrow any of those licks, take anything out of that song, you can use it in your own playing any way you want to. A lot of good ideas in that tune. I'll be back in May with another song breakdown. If you have any questions, comments, just let me know. See you again soon.